my fellow readers. Today I'm going to be talking about Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by John, Tiffany, and Jack Thorne. Now this is a script of the play Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. It is based on the original new story by J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling actually did not write the script at all. Now a lot of the plot and the script goes through a lot of scrutiny and mixed reviews because it is primarily Jack Thorne's writing, so it misses the genuine, nostalgic feel that J.K. Rowling writes in her characters. Some of them feel very false and not exactly in the same tone that J.K. Rowling presents. Now, J.K. Rowling has stated that The Cursed Child is canon in the Harry Potter universe, and a lot of my friends have actually said they are not going to agree and they're just going to forget this ever happened. Now, I definitely disagree with that. If J.K. Rowling physically stated that this is canon, then you need to listen to her. Sorry, but this is canon. And you may or may not agree with me, but I loved this script. I gave it a 4 out of 5 because it really did bring me back into the Harry Potter universe, to Hogwarts, and all of the magical elements of this story I really loved. Now, I'm not saying that this story and script were perfect. There are so many things that did bother me, but I'm going to keep this very spoiler-free in the beginning of my video and just tell you about my general thoughts and feelings of the story before I get into spoilers. So I will tell you when I hit the spoiler section. Now, this story, I did love how it brought me back to Harry Potter. And I felt very nostalgic, and it really brought me into going back to the Harry Potter series and actually rereading snippets from it to try to get a better understanding of where the plot is going. I really loved Albus and Scorpius's relationship. I loved their friendship and how it grew, and I really enjoyed seeing Albus and Harry interact. And Harry does not get along with him very well. They don't have a lot to connect with, and Albus is very much in Harry's shadow because Albus and Harry are very different, and Albus is very much an ordinary person. He's not extraordinary like a lot of his students expect him to be, which makes him teased and really fall into the shadow of himself. And watching him develop was really great to see. I really did enjoy seeing the trio as they are older and how much being an adult stresses them out and being a parent stresses them out. And I love the story as a whole from beginning, middle to end. And a lot of people know that this is a time traveling plot where when you go back in time, you definitely mess with the future and how you handle the consequences and everything with that. And the entire reading of the script makes me just want to watch the play because you get the dialogue and then a little bit about the set and the breaks in the actions that are portrayed, but you don't actually get to see it happen in front of you, which I think made a lot of people not really like the story because you had to imagine a lot and some things were left out because it was very brief. So you can't really imagine everything that is going on in the story, and that's why I feel a necessity to watch the play. Now, to get into more of the nitty-gritty about what I liked and didn't like about the plot and the characters, I need to actually jump into the spoiler section. So if you haven't read the script or haven't seen the play, then please turn off this video and come back once you do, unless you're okay with spoilers. Starting with the spoilers, I'll go from the beginning all the way to the end. I had a feeling that Albus was going to be Slytherin. So seeing that really affirmed my beliefs and I really enjoyed that part. I, however, did not like how it skipped through most of his first 4 years of school. I mean, we only got to see the Sorting Hat and a little bit of teasing and the fact that Albus did not want to go to Hogsmeade. And as important as those are, I felt like there was a lot more development of Albus and Scorpius's relationship that we don't get to see in the script, and I was really missing out on that. I loved the scene where the trolley witch is chasing after Albus in order for them to escape the train. The way she turns into this evil, scary looking creature was just, I can only picture it in my head, and I hope it turned out as great on the actual play scene, because it was frightening and amazing. Now, as for Delphi, I really loved her introduction and as she evolved as a character and as Albus and Scorpius got to know her better. I actually really enjoyed how Cedric Diggory's death was pivotal in this story. A lot of people disagree with me on that, and that is okay, but I felt that in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, that Cedric Diggory's death was the make or break moment to Harry, because it was the first death he witnessed as a growing, maturing boy, and also it was a very pointless death, and that is so heartbreaking, and it stays with Harry throughout the entire books. He has nightmares about it, and it's very evident that even as he's an adult, it still hangs with him. And that is why I loved that Cedric was very pivotal to the story, and I can't really see it any other way, so I was really happy about that. And then when Cedric ended up not dying and the entire world changed and turned very dark and evil and sinister, and you get to see Snape. There's so much fan service in this book that a lot of people were bummed, but I loved it so much. And seeing the awkwardness between Hermione and Ron, even though they weren't together in that scene, it was so great, and I loved seeing that. I felt like it was very well written and very well defined at how even though they had evolved and grown as adults, there were still so many things from their childhood that shaped their adult relationships. Now, to get on to the biggest plot point that irritated me so bad, and I cannot believe it ever happened in the story, was the fact that Delphi is Voldemort and Bellatrix's daughter. I can't see that happening. I can't imagine Bellatrix giving birth, let alone sleeping with Voldemort without her being physically strapped and restrained to a bed for 9 months. It doesn't make sense, and I'm so glad that Bellatrix actually didn't raise Delphi, because I knew that wouldn't happen, because Bellatrix is not a mother figure. And the fact that they decided to make Delphi Voldemort's child just in no way, shape, or form made sense to me. Bellatrix and Voldemort never thought that Voldemort was not going to succeed. They never thought he needed an heir. And I don't see Bellatrix or Voldemort being the type of people who would have any intimate relationships. Now, with the very last battle with Delphi and Harry and Albus, I absolutely loved that face-off, and I thought it was very well done. And at the end, having Harry witness the death of his parents, I was so heartbroken, and I understood that that's what he needed to see. He wanted to see his parents for the last time. I loved that he wanted to see it because he knew he couldn't change it. And he wanted to make sure everything kind of played out exactly as it was supposed to so that the future wouldn't change. It actually sparked a debate with my friend Michael because we weren't sure who actually walked in on Harry's parents first. Was it Hagrid or Snape? Because I remember in the 7th movie when Harry witnessed Snape's memories in the Pensieve, it showed that Snape walked and saw Lily and James's dead bodies, and I can't actually remember if that really happened in the 7th book, and I really want to go back and actually figure out if that really happened. Now, the very last scene was my absolute favorite, where Albus and Harry visit Cedric's grave. I felt that was so important, and it was necessary in order to wrap up the story and make it a complete whole representation of Harry's world. Now, one thing that I must mention, and give me a raise of hands or a comment down below if you agree, whether Albus and Scorpius should have been a couple, or at least a blooming relationship by the end of this story, because the fact that you don't actually see their relationship grow and you just see their interactions on the train and during the 4th year, it really felt like they were going to end up as more than friends. And I don't know if that was just me being over analytical and me just hoping for something else. And I really want to ship them, even though it appears that Scorpius does not have feelings for Albus at all. I don't know. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts on that bit of the story. So thank you so much for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about The Cursed Child, whether you have read the script or seen the play. And you can contact me or follow me through any of the social medias at French Toast and Books. And I will see you next time. Goodbye!